Yes, we
All
are.
right, Mo, listen up.
Okay, I shall listen up.
I got a story for. I got a tale to weave. Okay, so one fateful day. This was yesterday. I was walking home from my long day at work, and this man, I'd say he was probably about 35 or older, and he was riding a child's bicycle,
Oh dear God.
and he had a cardboard box, and it was filled with soda bottles. And he offered me one, and I initially refused, but then I eventually ended up taking a cherry coke from this box. So this strange man on a child's bicycle with a unmarked cardboard box full of soda. I took a cherry coke from him yesterday. I did not drink it. I have it in my hands right now. This bo- this bottle, it does not seem like it's ever been opened, but I know there are ways to make a bottle seem like it's never been opened when it in fact has. So I'm gonna open this bottle and drink it live as we do the Moecast, and nothing will probably come of it, but there's a very small chance that I will
You
die
see,
during this podcast.
yeah, I was about to say, are we about to record your death live
Yep,
in
I'm cracking
studio?
open the possible death right now. You can hear the. I was trying to make it so you could hear like the sizzle of me opening it, but I don't think I
Yeah,
quite succeeded.
I was
It's
going.
it's
I was going to say though, like before you opened it, but it's kind of too late to check now. As long as there's like pressure and it doesn't feel like any air is escaping, you'll be okay.
okay. Yeah, it definitely like made a hissing noise when I opened it. It still got carbonation and shit. Um,
Which
all
is
right.
good.
It smells like cherry coke. I'm about to take a sip.
And he's dead.
Tastes normal, so I might be fine. We'll see. We'll see how it goes as this develops. And now that that's out of the way, we could talk about Scott Cawthon for a minute. I know Mo is
Oh God,
sizzling.
why?
So the man who made Five Nights at Freddy's, Scott Cawthon, he made the funny animal murder game, and he's under a little bit of fire. He's got a little bit of a fire under his bottom, as there's apparently been evidence to suggest he has donated to Republican movements. Oh,
Oh my
ooh, ah.
God, no, please.
I can't believe this. I'm completely fucking crushed. My soul has been drained from my body. Nothing but tears will escape me. I can't believe this is happening.
Yeah, it's like I got onto Twitter earlier and I just immediately got into a oh please come on already, sort of like shouting match with somebody. I mean, everyone sort of needs to remember that there's going to be tons of people who think differently than you and are going to vote differently than you. So maybe it shouldn't be a point of outrage when like someone favors one major political party over the other major political party. It blows my fucking mind.
What do you think about this, Robin? Can you ever look at Freddy Fazbear the same way again?
I didn't like Five Nights at Freddy's anyway, so I think I'm alright.
Yeah, I'm not really into like the whole like gimmick is just jump scares, and honestly, like Resident Evil 2 is much scarier than Five Nights at Freddy's ever was.
Yeah, that's true, but funny animatronic bear. I'm kind of into Five Nights at Freddy's just because it's like funny and stupid, but
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I definitely see the appeal to it, especially since like there's a lot more kids that went to Chuck E. Cheese than I fucking thought. And the other type of like weird spaghetti pizza, Mr. Getty's, for those of us like who are listening down south.
fucking Mr. Getty's.
Mr. Getty's, yeah, it was really really great once upon a time. Then it kind of faded, and it's not as good as it used to be, but it's still around. Like there's one like 30 miles away from me, that is still up and kicking. Like I used to go to it in high school whenever they would take the special ed kids, like or AKA the problem kids and the ones who are suspected of doing drugs and fighting and shit. They would put us in these classes, and once a
You get to go to
year
Mr. Getty's.
they would take us to this job little mini job fair where basically just a bunch of people, like there would be like a few good jobs, the military guys that come in there, and then just a bunch of fucking door-to-door salesman guys. Like our school was sort of letting us know, listen, you're not going to be much, and we're going to throw these people at you in the hopes that you'll at least land a plant job. But you can also sell knives and vacuum cleaners door to door. That's your future. And for lunch, they would take us for about 2 hours to fucking Mr. Getty's, and we would fuck around and play video games and eat pizza and spaghetti. And to add
Dude,
to...
I knew a girl.
Go ahead.
At work, who worked at the same call center as me.
Yeah.
That she also like during some of her free time had a second job as a door-to-door salesperson. I don't even remember. I think they sold home security systems. And like the story she told me, that sounds like a very exciting line of work.
Yeah, that's exciting. Door-to-door salesman. Like, dude, I used to...
Door-to-door salesman, you get threatened with guns 10 times a day.
Oh yeah, what's fucking nuts is I used to I used to friggin' work for this Texas Campaign for the Environment type fucking little organization right back in Houston. And I would go over there, and you'd be surprised at how many people will just lie to get you to go away so they can slap a "Do Not Disturb" sign on their fucking door. And it's like super insulting. It's insulting and demoralizing, man. So like after about 2 weeks of that fucking gig, I fucking quit.
This particular girl, she told me that like she's been threatened by guns before, and like her strategy for that is she like learns shit about guns, and she'll start talking to them about their guns, and then they'll fucking buy from her.
Oh, nice, nice, nice. That's a good way to actually get some sales. Anyway, let's go ahead and get to the intro, all right? A
Sure,
one,
do it.
a two. Yeah, I am going to do it. Just fucking watch me,
Sorry.
bitch. A one, a two. Let's get. Is that all right with you, Raleigh?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
go ahead. I give
Alright.
the green light.
Okay, a skiddly diddly do. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Moecast. I'm your host, Mo Diggity, and today we are joined by a special guest. We're talking about music, vinyl, CDs, our favorite albums, and stuff like that. And this guest in particular is a bit of a vinyl fanatic. He loves vinyl and all things music and all that junk. So let's go ahead and just get into it. We are joined today with our co-host, Robin. Say what's up, Robin.
What's up, Robin? How's everyone doing?
And say hi to Riley. What's up, Riley?
I am currently sweating profusely. I hate Florida. I hate it. Please help me, please.
You're kind of hoping for some of that like climate change to hit Florida right about now, huh?
I'm hoping that Coke cherry had cyanide in it, and that I'm not long for this world.
And introducing the special guest that I hyped up. This is Pirate Novelist. Say what's up, Pirate.
Hello.
All right, so you do a podcast, is that correct, about music and vinyl and stuff like that?
Yes, it is called Collector's Confessional. I run it with my friend Marianne. She Marican, as she goes by now. She went by Marianne years ago, but it's Marican. We talk about our crazy lives that we live, chaotic as it is. We talk about music. We talk about collecting records. It's all kind of just like life, but mainly focused on the collector's side of things. Life in the view of a record or music collector.
Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, I still have my black zip-up freaking CD folder, and it's full of like
Nice.
hundreds of discs. And I went through about a year and a half ago, and finally cleaned out all the ones that were obviously so scratched up that they wouldn't be able to be played, or
Yeah.
had weirdly enough freaking mold on one of them. And I couldn't think for the life of me, how the hell did I get mold on this freaking CD? But
It happens.
yeah, I don't doubt that at all, because it freaking happened to me. And I couldn't throw out a whole lot of them because a lot of these like compilation CDs, these little mixtapes, stuff like that, they still hold a ton of sentimental value to me. I remember when local radio stations actually played good music instead of the schlock that you have now. And I can't make myself get rid of the memories. Even though, and I have really no reason to get rid of them at all because who the hell even buys CDs or DVDs anymore? Like my digital movie and music collection has grown exponentially and through legitimate ways too. Because I do like to buy my own stuff, especially when I have a job and all
Mo,
that.
not pirating?
No,
What? I
not
can't believe it.
not all the time, and it's been a habit that I kind of broke like a long time ago because like you see that this is only really $10. Maybe I don't deprive this band of this $10 purchase. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Yeah, CDs are getting a little bit of resurgence too, but not like the vinyl resurgence that we've seen for like the past couple of years. It's been crazy.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'm not criticizing you, but I am skeptical of a vital resurgence. I have not heard of such a thing.
Absolutely.
The vinyl resurgence, it's been kind of cropping up. A lot more sales have been happening of vinyl records. You see a lot more artists putting out vinyl records. Um, I think there was a statistic that said that uh, the physical sales of vinyl records outpaced CDs and almost it's not going to outpace streaming, but buying digitally it out even paced that, which is crazy insane to me because I've been collecting for about 9 years heavily. And back when I started collecting, it was just kind of like a niche thing, and now it's just kind of blown up into this crazy thing. And I'm not like a gatekeeper type of person. I'm in for the hobby just to love the music. And the more people that we onboard, and the more people that come in and want to love music and love getting into this hobby, I 100% welcome. We're here with open arms because it's all about the music.
Should do door-to-door sales for vinyl. Get somebody's
That ain't a bad idea.
vinyl CDs.
Yeah, I can see people going, "Excuse me, sir, would you like to buy this Def Leppard album?" It's like, yeah,
So,
in the current year of our Lord, yes, I would
of
like
course,
I
the year
would
of
like
our
a Def
Lord.
yes, I would like a Def Leppard album. That's exactly what I woke up and thought I'd want to do today. But
So
anyway,
are fucking vinyl record players a readily available thing in this year of our Lord? Can you buy them from places?
Yes. My local shop here in my city specializes in not only the vinyl records, they're a vinyl record only place, but they sell turntables. There's a bunch of companies out there that sell turntables from your basic entry level to the highest to the high end, snooty snob, audiophile level things. So really, for I'd say about $300, you can get yourself a pretty decent starter set up when it comes to a vinyl record kind of set up. The idea is you have your turntable. There's kind of like four items that you need. You need your turntable, your preamp, your amplifier, and your speakers, which is just the basic four items that you need. I know a really good kind of entry turntable that's about $100, and then all you really need to do is just buy into the powered speakers. So, there even are those ones like the Crosley turntables, the suitcase turntables. A lot of people in what we call the vinyl community on YouTube turn their nose up at that stuff. But for me, you have to have, the disposable income to even buy the records themselves because it's not that hobby that's like, oh, I'll just buy a pack of say Pokemon cards, which is tough to find right now. That's another conversation for another day. Because I like to collect Pokemon cards, just an aside, but I'm not like a hardcore collector. It's like once every like couple of months, I'll buy like a couple of packs just to see what the new stuff is, just for fun. Can't even do that now.
So what you're saying is you're not a fat, sweaty white man who would burst into a Walmart right when it opens to steal every Pokemon card pack on the display case. You are not that person.
Exactly.
With your little scale in hand, weighing every pack.
Oh yeah, they weigh the packs. Yeah, definitely.
You know, it's freaking crazy that stores like Target are they're basically canceling selling Pokemon and other card game stuff because of people going absolutely batshit over them. Like there's a video that went viral on the internet not too long ago of like a bunch of grown ass friggin' men beating the shit out of each other so they can get like the first like couple of cases of Pokemon cards because this was at the height of the Pokemon card collecting phase or craze.
Yep.
There we go. And it boggles my mind that people will stoop to such a low just to get a freaking children's card.
You remember the fucking
children's card
McDonald's
back.
thing when McDonald's had fucking Pokemon
Yep.
cards and people were buying like hundreds of dollars worth of fucking Happy Meals?
It's all because they want to flip them. It is because they want to flip the cards to make a little extra cash.
I want you all to think about the fact that there is at least probably exactly one child out there who is now permanently afflicted with fucking obesity because their father just bought fucking 300 Happy Meals to
You
get
can buy
Pokemon cards.
toys. You can buy toys at McDonald's like a la carte.
Yes.
How much you want to bet that there was a bunch of single dudes who were just buying like 10, 15 fucking Happy Meals and maybe eating some of it and throwing the rest away when he got what he wanted?
Oh man, I at least want there to be a child who got to enjoy himself as he afflicted himself with obesity. I mean, geez, is that so much to ask in this world?
Unfortunately, yes.
Going off of the collecting aspect of things here, we have a special holiday coming up in a couple of days. It's called Record Store Day. And what this day is, it's a collaborative effort of the music labels and local independent record stores to celebrate the local independent record store. Now, obviously, every single day is Record Store Day. They're small businesses. They're open, to make money. You should be supporting them all the time. But on Record Store Day, there are special releases that come out specifically on this day at your local independent record stores to kind of get people in to see the store. And it's just kind of like a celebration of music for the day. And, there's about like 200 plus that come out. And normally Record Store Day is on the third Saturday in April. But because of what's been going on in the chaotic world that we live in right now, it was split into 2 days, one in June and one in July. And there's usually one on American Black Friday. And this is actually a worldwide phenomenon. It's not necessarily here in the States, the United States. There are some stores that have their specifically Canadian releases. There is UK releases. There's even some Australian releases. So this day is upcoming. It's a really special day for us in the community, and it is like Black Friday, but you don't use the people's elbow to get what you want. It is very civilized.
There aren't deaths on record.
There are no deaths on Record Store Day, unless it's a freak accident and somebody gets a heart failure right there in line. There's nothing violent about it. It is very civil.
A vinyl disc fucking falls off of a high shelf and slits somebody's throat.
Oh my god. Yeah,
a vinyl record killed my father.
That would be a very interesting freaking riot. It's the riot at the record store. Hey, you know what? That's a kind of a cool freaking album name if you think about it.
It is, and it was.
It's the villain origin story of the guy who invented CDs.
It turns out it's a conspiracy by the CD and record industry to discredit vinyls and make freaking CDs cool again.
Yes. So it's a little bit of everything with Record Store Day. It's not just necessarily this or that. Like there are more modern artists like Ariana Grande. You have like Garbage is putting something out now. You'll have Lady Gaga coming out with something. And the Ariana Grande is actually a 3-disc live album, but they also printed a CD version if you don't have that. They do some cassettes too. Like there's a Motley Crue box set of cassettes, which is their first couple of albums. There's a little bit of everything for everybody. So there's a little bit of jazz. There's a couple of soundtracks. There are compilations. There are what we call rough guides. So some world music. You have some records that celebrate, milestones. Like one of the albums from The Sword is being released. There's Linkin Park's Meteora, which is hard as hell to even find a pressing of without paying out the wazoo for it. So I'm excited for that. And then you have kind of like, not obscure stuff, but kind of like, what we call the audiophile, like the ones that are a little higher quality in the thought process that they put, within the packaging. There's a jazz release that I'm actually really excited for that's coming out. I've been listening to it all day. It's really good. It is Quiet Kenny by Kenny Dorham. And this was like a 1950s jazz album. And the guy is just so soulful with the trumpet. Just the way he plays the music is just so good.
Nice.
And for $25, you get an audiophile quality pressing with a really nice when we talk about sleeves in vinyl records, there's the outer sleeve and the inner sleeve. And usually you get like a paper inner sleeve or things get scratched up. No, that they put in like the audiophile quality. It's cut at RTI Studios, which is like a very well-known high quality area where it's pressed. It's cut by Kevin Gray, who is like one of the masters of putting things onto vinyl. And it's only $26. Like $26 for an audiophile record, like that normally you pay like $300+ for. That's a deal. That's the kind of stuff you go for.
Hell
of course,
yeah,
I talked
hell
about
yeah.
Linkin Park. Do you know who Warren Zevon is?
That sounds super, super familiar, but for the life of me, I can't think of a thing about him.
His most well-known song is Werewolves of London. He's kind of known as a one-hit wonder, but I hate to say that when it comes to like, the GP, because his discography is just so great. He was taken, he was taken in 2003, and it's way too soon for me. He was diagnosed with mesothelioma, and it just got to the point where the cancer just took his life. Well, after the cancer took his life, his son was kind of just rummaging around and found basically a piano case full of all of these old recordings that his dad did. And that was released as a CD kind of little box set that has like early demos of Werewolves of London, some unreleased songs, kind of just stripped down, him just kind of playing around with things. And they're finally releasing it on vinyl. It's like what we call LPs, is like long play, the 12-inch records. It's a 2 LP set, and it comes with the booklet that came, with the record, the record being the CD. And it's actually blown up and printed out and really nice, from what I've been reading, really nice, like a magazine. And it has all the songs on it. And then the last side is actually a full length, like 30-minute interview with Warren, which you can actually do spoken record vinyl. And I'm really looking forward to hearing that interview.
Dude, can we put the Moecast on vinyl?
There are companies that will press it. There are companies out there where they do what's called lathe cutting. So they'll lathe cut the record, and you can put whatever you want on it. It's for personal use, but you can get things
This
pressed.
sounds like
on
a
vinyl.
thing that is looked down upon.
Like,
well, there are companies out there who do it.
I would love to have a whole collection of just the Moecast on fucking vinyl. That seems to be like a freaking blast. I'd love to put that on my shelf.
There is so if you have y'all
Vinyl
heard
sleeves
of
with the shitty thumbnails?
there are that's an aesthetic. There are aesthetics like that. So there is a podcast that I used to listen to quite a bit called Welcome to Night Vale. Well, they came out with an audio book.
I like those guys. I'm very familiar with that podcast.
Part of the audiobook got pressed to vinyl, and they also have interviews with like the main three guys behind it on one side. And it's basically an episode, half an episode, except for the weather of Welcome to Night Vale. So it's like you actually have Welcome to Night Vale on vinyl. So it has been done, which is really awesome.
The one thing I really like about vinyl, and the reason why I personally, to go back a little bit a few minutes ago, I think one of the big reasons why vinyl started coming back is people really missed the little extras that you get when you buy like physical media, because you just simply don't get that with digital media, because like you could just go to Pirate Bay. You can go to the piratebay.com and freaking download anything you want over there. So it's kind of it's
Of
kind of
course, we
like
would
an
not
empty
condone
gesture.
such a thing.
Yes, yes, no, not at all. But anyway, yeah, you know, you if you go back and you buy like say a Cheech and Chong album, I think it was like Up in Smoke or one of their more popular stand-up comedy albums, it would come with like that big ass freaking rolling paper and a couple little trinkets and junk like that. And I miss that. I also miss having the lyrics on the inside of a CD and
Yes.
tape like we used to have.
I have something related to video games with that. Why do Switch games now not have a manual? It bugs me.
Yeah, I hate that too, because I used to love renting games and there would be a manual. And dude, I wouldn't, you would learn about the game and you'd end up being entertained by reading the freaking manual. And Blockbuster back in way back in the day,
Hmm.
they used to do, because people would just keep losing the manuals or would refuse to pay the manual replacement cost. Remember
Hmm.
back in the day, everyone,
Yes.
if you didn't return the manual and the game, you get charged a separate price for the manual. So what
Yes.
Blockbuster used to do is they would just print on the inside of the case and the laminate just like a paragraph and a half of the synopsis of the game and any controls that you need to figure out, and then boom, you got that. I missed that too. That's the one weird thing that I'm bummed out about that the digital age did, was they took away a lot of the cool little intimacies that you get
Yes.
with a record collecting or game or any other kind of media collecting, you know?
Yeah, and I do have something related to rolling papers, but I'll get to that in just a moment. I bought a game from Limited
Ooh.
Run. I bought a game from Limited Run. They actually took the time to print a manual, and it
Nice.
made it extra special. It was Scott Pilgrim versus the World, one of my favorite games. It came back in 2020 after being gone
Oh,
for like
fuck
10
yeah.
years.
I bought
I-
that on my PS4.
Yeah, I bought the Switch port because I wanted to take it with me, and it actually came with, it looked Super Nintendo style. It came with a manual.
Hell
Like
yeah.
they gave you the who all the baddies were, the art style, the story, everything in there. And it was just like, it was just that extra little bit that made it special that I really appreciated. You know, you don't get that nowadays. It's just like, oh, here's the game. Oh, well, maybe the inside maybe might actually have something a little nice. You know, oh, and here's this little cartridge that tastes like bitter if you throw it in your mouth.
Dude,
Which,
that was like the funniest shit when everybody was like, the Switch cartridges taste bad. Like, who figured that out?
Like, why are you
did that become
putting it in
common
your mouth?
knowledge?
Yeah, why are you putting it in your fucking mouth, dude? Come on.
I think there was this image of Donkey Kong with all the Switch cartridges, and it says, "Oh, it tastes, you know, don't do that. It tastes bad." And then it shows Donkey Kong licking all these cartridges.
Oh my god.
Dude, the thing is, right? It doesn't make any sense. Nobody would be that stupid.
There
'Cause
are
I-
some people that are. There are.
I
some people
know,
that
but
are.
like, I was a very stupid kid. I put things in my mouth all the fucking time that I shouldn't have. But my DS cartridges never went anywhere near my mouth because I knew that was bad and it would break your fucking video game.
Well, then they go flaunting that the cartridges for the Switch taste weird. And so, of course, everybody sticks it in their mouth.
Yes.
Yeah,
It has the opposite effect.
yeah, it's the fucking Tide Pod thing all over again.
Yeah. Which is another conversation for another day. But it's like you miss that kind of stuff. And one of the Record Store Day releases, I don't remember the name off the top of my head, but it does come with rolling papers,
Nice.
which is, and then it's like just a normal rolling paper. It's not like, you know, like the LP sized or anything, but it does come with it, which is kind of nice, you know. What else is coming out?
So is rolling paper like a vinyl term, or are we talking about the shit you roll weed in?
Yeah,
Just-
yeah,
just to
the
be
shit
clear.
that you rolled weed
Yes.
in.
Okay,
Yes.
just making sure that I'm not like hearing some like fancy vinyl term and thinking, hey, funny
No,
weed.
no, actually, no. It is rolling paper for weed.
Good.
It's a
I
it's a reggae
approve.
album, so it's just kind of like all together with that. Let's see here. We have soundtracks like Village of the Damned soundtrack, for example. Let's see here. In the July drop, there's some things from Evanescence. You have Bob Dylan. You have The Doors, Ronnie James Dio, Devo, Def Leppard with like an early years live album. You have like Miles Davis, The Cure with a picture disc. Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young on July. Alternative Takes. I've been hearing, the the Morrison Hotel Sessions is one that everybody's been talking about, which is extra recordings from the Doors when they were doing, the Morrison Hotel, and apparently all these takes make the song sound completely different. It's crazy.
Man, I remember when Metallica was first starting out, right before Hit the Lights, even or no, Kill 'Em All, right
Yeah,
before Kill 'Em All was even a thing. They had like two or three Garage Days type records that were out, and then the bootleg stuff. I think it was the last bit of Metallica footage with Cliff Burton. And
yeah,
they had a ton of EPs and LPs and demo discs, and like, because back in the old days, Metallica had about 3 or 4 original songs and about 15 fucking new wave of British heavy metal type
hmm
songs, like, Am I Evil, So Fucking Wet, stuff like that. And
yep,
I miss those days too, because you don't really get those, but every once in a while you'll get a band like Trent Reznor's Nine Inch Nails or NoFX or Pennywise. They'll put out an alternative version of one of their more popular records, and they'll put it out for free. And really, they're just, because they get a deal with the company who carries the thing, they get probably like a 10 cents a download. So a few million of those, it's like fucking good payday, right?
yep,
I love the fact that we get those now, and even though we don't get those cool little things in the
yeah.
vinyls like you used to, we are getting something inventive, new, and cool, and I like that.
Right, yeah. Unlike U2, who just put their album on everybody that one
Ha!
time. You remember when that happened? They were
Yeah,
just like,
without anyone's fucking permission, because the thing I think about is, gee, I wish I had a fucking U2 album on my fucking phone.
The only reason that I know about that is because of fucking Maddox. That's the only reason why that's knowledge in my head.
I joke about it because I have one greatest hits from U2, but the reason I had it was there was a $15 sale at Walmart, and it was cut by a dude named Chris Bellman at Bernie Grumman Mastering. He is one of the guys. If you are going to collect records, you go with him if he cut the record. I can explain how you find out that information, but that's the main reason why I bought it, is because he cut it, and I'm glad that I have it. But it's like, yeah, no, I don't want that U2 album. We have what's called the dead wax. So you have, the grooves that are cut for, pressed into the record itself, but you have what's called the dead wax, which is where there's no information of the music and it's heading towards, like the middle label. In that, they etch all this information of, where it was pressed, um, what, what stamper they're particularly on, who was the master of that vinyl, where it was pressed. So it has kind of like, the information. It's kind of like a tattoo of information on the record itself. So that's the main reason why I have that U2, is that, but it's the ritual for me. It's getting up, taking the record off the shelf, getting it out, putting it on the turntable, wiping the dust away with the brush, putting it down, and sitting down with the actual album itself, especially if there are lyrics involved. Like, for example, I got No Jacket Required by Phil Collins for Christmas, and the guy who gave it to me, because we were part of like a Secret Santa, painted a picture of the Grinch on the cover of it. It is absolutely awesome, and if you want it for the video, I can provide it.
Cool. Yeah, we'll
I can,
make that
yeah.
the thumbnail.
Yeah, I'll provide that. It's just so cool, but especially with Phil Collins, he takes the time, especially with some of the early presses with a gatefold, which is basically kind of like if you think of a gatefold is if you're looking at like a greeting card, for example. I'm showing my age, greeting cards, but within that, it'll have like information about it. But what was so cool about this record is Phil was talking about how special this album was, and why he particularly decided to reissue it and where he decided to reissue it. So if you have the particular artist who really cares, you'll have that little bit of extra knowledge behind it. So say, for example, Neil Young. He's a guy who will always do analog tape versus, say, digital for the mastering. And the mastering is one huge part of it. It's kind of like junk in, junk out. If the recording sounds like shit, doesn't matter how much, zhuzh it up. Doesn't matter how much mastering you do. If you put it in, it's going to sound crappy coming out. And there's even more
Yeah.
factors, with like the needle and everything. But for example, I have a Woodstock box set that I got via Rhino Records. I'm part of their like loyalty club where I take surveys and stuff, and I got a bunch of points. That's actually how I got my turntable that I have now.
Oh, nice, nice.
But I'm not knocking it. It's a great box set. It actually comes with like a booklet talking about who was on what day, like a whole page about the days about what was going on with Woodstock. But if the only recording you have is, say, via a janitor who had a tape recorder and just recorded it, you're going to be limited by the fidelity of what was put in.
Yeah.
Um,
You can
and
only
that-
you can only ever downscale. You can't ever upscale the quality of the audio.
Yes. That's why, for example, one of the early episodes of Doctor Who, Spearhead from Space, which is one of my favorite classic ever. They used to do it on tape, but this is the one of the only ones they ever did on film. So that's why you get a Blu-ray upscaled version of it, is because they actually had the quality behind it to go back and actually remaster it. So you're totally right about that. So, well, I'm not knocking it, I'm not knocking digital or whatever. I'm just saying you have to keep in mind, the mastering behind it. And this is more of archival. Oh, it's cool that we have this, and it's cool that I actually happen to have this so I can listen to it. But, it sounds the way it does because of the way they recorded it,
Yeah. What was it? Pantera's 101 live 101 proof, 101 proof. Like I've seen them live, right? And they're fucking phenomenal live. But the album, the quality of the music on that album was like trash. Like half the songs are good, but most of the songs are really bad. It's the same thing that was wrong with this one live System of a Down record that my buddy used to have. Like we used to listen to that, and there would be like a few good ones, but then like the way that they would press it, half the guitar freaking riff would like cut out in the middle of a song and junk like that. And you watch like a video on YouTube, and you see that the audio quality is better than it is on this professionally pressed album, and you're like, what the hell? Did they just like just do it on the cheap or what?
There was a famous court battle for Michael Jackson remasterings. It was Quincy Jones versus the estate of Michael Jackson, and it was basically
I think I remember that.
They were basically trying to rush it out, and it kind of, one of the key witnesses they had to throw out the testimonial, Michael Federer, who has a really great YouTube channel for being like an old what we would consider the old stuffy guy who has like every record imaginable and has like thousands of dollars to throw at like a turntable. But he's very knowledgeable, very, approachable type of guy. But he was talking about, the mixing and everything and how you could just kind of tell with things like that. For example, there is an Aerosmith bootleg album that was officially released, but they purposely made it sound shitty because it was trying to be authentic to that. But there is a band out there that does professional bootlegs, and that's Pearl Jam. So Pearl Jam, almost every single one of their concerts, they either, like Let's Play 2 was when they were at the Cubbies Park. So they, during their 2-night stand at that park, they filmed a movie there and they pressed it to vinyl. But every single concert they professionally record it, like actually studio in record everything, crowd, all of that, and they digitally master it and they release it as a CD. This is so nobody does illegal recordings because you can actually pay to support the band and you are getting the actual. I bought the CD for my show that I went to.
Yeah.
So I physically have the show and I can listen to it over and over and over and over again that I was at. Like, how cool is that?
Yeah, I absolutely freaking love it when bands and comedians and comedy troupes, stuff like that, well, they'll every once in a while they'll record like a wherever the concert's at or wherever the show is
Mm-hmm.
at, and you can take it home like well, you can buy it later on online because obviously they're
Right.
not doing it right then and there. But I absolutely love that and appreciate it whenever a band does it. Like a band that the Pearl Jam, for instance, they
Yep.
put out that one live album, I think in '98 and '99, something like that, and it's
Yep.
absolutely fantastic. Even though it's it's not on vinyl, it was on CD, but it
Mm-hmm.
was beautiful to listen to. And I also absolutely love Pearl Jam, so you have to work
Yes.
really hard to disappoint me with Pearl Jam.
My show, they played for 3 hours and had 2 encores. And they had a request. They dedicated a bunch of songs to a bunch of people. Pearl Jam, I'm not getting political here, but Pearl Jam does get political. So
Yeah,
they had a
yeah.
couple of political things that they talked about during the show. But I remember Eddie was talking about, and I'm going to butcher what he was saying, but I saw them in Hampton, Virginia, and I live in the southern part of Virginia, Virginia Beach. They're used to coming to Virginia Beach. And the last time they came around our area, I saw them in 2016, was 2008. And then they came in 2000. And then they came in 1992. So it's like he said, I think it was 2000. He said, the last time we were here was, I remember at the beach. I remember Virginia Beach. And the last time you were here was 8 years ago. And the time before that was 8 years before that. So we're kind of like locusts. We come out of the ground, we make a bunch of racket, and this is where I lose the part of the analogy. We sow a bunch of seeds. No, we lay a bunch of eggs, and then 8 years later, we're back.
Like a seasonal allergy.
Yes, but if you remember, there was a festival they had played in about the 2000s era where it was muddy, kind of like the Woodstock in '94. And unfortunately, there were some fans that got trampled at that show.
Yeah, it
They
was a
still
bad scene. No,
they still keep in touch with the families. They still donate. They still help with them, of course. But Eddie was talking about how he was feeling trapped in the hotel room. It was like the first show back, and they were feeling kind of trapped. And the song "I Am Mine" was written in that hotel room, and that song is special to me because it was actually written kind of in the city. Yes, of course, it was birthed from a bad situation, and Love Boat Captain is the main song about that. But he was talking about that. Have you read the book Into the Wild or know about the movie?
no, I don't. No, I haven't.
Um, well, essentially, it's about a guy who decides he wants to give up his worldly possessions to basically go live in the wilderness for a little bit. And his writings, his journal was found on his body. Um, and Eddie felt a special connection to him, and they made a movie called Into the Wild. It's a book that was written. So he did all the music for the film, and the main guy he was a real person. His name was Chris, and his sister was in the audience. So he played a song from the that particular soundtrack, because it's not just Pearl Jam stuff. He pulled out a couple of Eddie Vedder songs, which was kind of nice.
Nice.
What else? There was a guy who was just let out of prison, 33 years on a false charge. So he played "Given to Fly" for that guy. And what I like about Pearl Jam is
That's one of my
they
favorite
know.
songs.
Yeah, it was one of my favorites too. They know every single song in their catalog. Like, there was a guy who threw up a sign he wanted to hear "In My Tree," and they're like, "Can we put something that wasn't on the menu before?" And my favorite fact about Pearl Jam is, do you know how soon they picked the set list for the night?
Isn't that right the night of the show or the day of the
Yeah,
show?
about 10 minutes before they're about to go on stage.
Oh
I
no
write it down
shit.
the set
So,
list.
oh wow. So it's like really like down to the wire right there then.
Yeah, like the show previously, they just decided to play Versus in full, which is their second album, and we were getting the first two songs of Yield, and we thought, oh goodness, oh shit, are we actually going to hear Yield in full? And then of course he went through there, but I only knew like the hits at that time, but I still loved them, and it was from this show that made me really really love Pearl Jam. And they actually do have a release coming for Record Store Day. It's the July drop. It is a 12-inch single of their song Alive, which is one of their most famous songs.
Yeah.
But it also has, it's Alive, the promo single version. It has Wash, I've Got a Feeling, and Dirty Frank. And on the B side, it has an etching of the Pearl Jam era, the stick guy, with the hands in the air.
Yeah, yeah.
The
He's
B side is the etching of that.
Oh no shit. Yeah. I
Mm.
loved I think it was the album 10 or
Yep.
it's the very first Pearl Jam official
10. Yeah,
Pearl
10.
Jam one. Yeah, that's one of my favorite grunge era album covers.
Yes, and it's just that whole era. I could talk for like 3.5 hours of the Seattle grunge era of Chris Cornell, of the Mother Love Bone, the Green Jelly, the not the Green Jelly, Green River. The Green River, the proto grunge era, and how even Mother Love Bone was a super group before there was Temple of the Dog, which
Yeah.
then morphed into Pearl Jam and Soundgarden. So
Yeah.
that whole era is just ripe for talking about for a long time.
That's one thing I wish I can go back in time and experience is go back to 1988 and just go chill in Houston and Houston in the early 90s, but in the early 80s and very very start of the 1990s, of course it would be Seattle because that's where it was all happening. Because I would have loved to, because you would have bumped into Cornell and Jerry Cantrell and the guys from Alice in Chains in a freaking bar that they were playing somewhere, and
Yep.
it kills me to know that I'll basically never be able to see any of my favorite grunge bands from the late 90s because they're all either broke up or dead or OD'd from drugs or something.
Yeah, I was lucky to have seen Soundgarden. That was one of the best shows of my life. I still say Pearl Jam is number one because of the quality and the quantity. You know how some people say quality,
Yeah.
over quantity, but the quality of the quantity was enough to make me love it. But Soundgarden played with the Dillinger Escape Plan. I think the Deftones were supposed to open, but they cut that tour, and
Oh,
it was Nine Inch Nails and Soundgarden.
dude, that'd have been a hell of a show to fucking
That
make.
was one hell of a show, and I won tickets to that show. Like, I didn't think I was going to be able to go. That was back in the days. I think I would. Yeah, I was working at the my very first job. I worked as a pizza cook at a local water park, and I won tickets from the local radio station.
Man, I have tried to win tickets on the freaking radio station for years and years, and I never even came close. Like I think I got like, sorry, buddy, you're number 6. Click, hang up, and it's done. Never
Well,
won
no,
a
this
fucking thing
was
on radio.
you enter your information online, and then they pick like randomly.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. That honestly is still, I can remember that show like it was yesterday. Like the Pearl Jam show. It's those special shows that you always remember. And going back to the Record Store Day stuff. Record Store Day kind of started out small. It was maybe a handful of releases, and then you would have bands playing live. I know Metallica actually played for one of the Record Store Days years and years ago.
Nice.
Nice little tidbit.
What era do you think they played? Was it like 90s early Metallica or like super early 80s Metallica?
Let me see if I could find that. I know they were ambassadors at one point. Every year there's an ambassador for Record Store Day. And I think They played. Let's see here. I know they played. Looks like For Whom the Bell Tolls, Fade to Black. It's like Helpless, Hit the Lights, Four Horsemen, Ride the Lightning, Fade to Black, Jump in the Fire, For Whom the Bell Tolls, Creeping Death, Metal Militia.
All right, so yeah, that's probably like mid to like probably right before Master of Puppets, maybe. I think.
Yeah,
Man, so that was a hell of a time. That would have been a hell of a freaking show to see.
2016 at a record store. Yeah, it was
Oh, okay,
crazy.
okay.
This was 2016. They played for Record Store Day.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like way earlier than that. Damn. I
No,
remember.
Record Store Day has been that. It's maybe celebrated its 10-year anniversary not that long ago, and they played inside a record store. So it's just all the guys crunched together in this record store on a small stage. I know some record stores. I've been to one in Houston, Cactus Records. They actually have
Oh,
a
I love
stage
that
for bands
place.
to perform.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I used to hang out at that place all the time. I love Cactus.
yeah. I was visiting my uncle down there, and you know how big of a metal section they have.
Oh yeah.
I went, like down into the basement. I like, because the first place I go is I go to New Arrivals, and at my local shop, I go to New Arrivals, and then I immediately head over to the metal section because that's my comfort zone. Even if I don't buy anything, I like to see what new metal stuff has come in, and then I'll mosey on over to like the rock section and all that. But my comfort zone is like metal stuff. I don't know why, but that's just my first place I always like to look when I go to the record store.
Well, like metal and punk really had nowhere else to really turn because, like, literally all the other genres of music were kind of already established, and they
Yep.
went past vinyl and went straight to good tapes, 8 tracks, CDs, and stuff like that. Like, they were already ahead of metal and punk. So, like,
Mhm.
bands like Metallica and NoFX, Pennywise, stuff, junk like that, all they had were these little like $100 and I'll print out 20 freaking vinyl albums for you types of places, and that's the only way you were able to listen to half the old school good music back in the day was through
Mhm.
exclusively vinyl because
Yep.
record companies refused to touch bands like NoFX and even Pearl Jam and
Yep.
Pennywise and all them until like they saw how much money like Black Flag and Dead Kennedys were bringing in, and then they were like, "Oh, well, I guess there's room on board for you guys here."
Yep. Yep. It's all about the money. Gotta get the money. Uh, to continue on kind of with Record Store Day, there's like established guys like Robert Palmer. You got like Kenny Loggins at the movies. I mean, it's literally I'm All Right, Caddyshack, Footloose soundtrack. I'm Free, Heaven Help the Man from Footloose. Playing with the Boys from Top Gun. Danger Zone from Top Gun. Meet Me Halfway from Over the
Danger
Top.
Zone!
Yes. Nobody's Fool from Caddyshack 2. For the first time from One Fine Day, Meet Me Halfway, and then a new recording of Playing with the Boys. So, like, you have stuff that's kind of cool and kooky like that. I remember I didn't get it, but I wanted at one point Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas because I love collecting Christmas albums. That's a little quirk of mine. Is I actually have a Christmas section.
Nice,
I
nice. Hey,
love
that's cool.
collecting
That's
Christmas
cool, man.
albums.
I like that shit. That's fucking awesome,
Uh,
man.
and there are some great live albums on vinyl, like Nirvana Live at Reading. That is amazing live, and
I only got
I'm
to hear the one that they put on CD from the Muddy Banks of the Wishka. That was
ah
okay. They had some really good quality tracks on there.
yeah. I'm not the biggest fan of Nirvana when it comes to like the whole scene that's there, but give me Nirvana Live at Reading, I will eat that shit up all day, every day.
That sounds like an album I need to pick up and give a listen to.
Yes, I'm gonna go grab it real quick because it's literally within reach.
Already?
It literally it has tracks from the Bleach and Nevermind days.
Oh, nice, nice,
So,
nice.
Breed, Drain You, Aneurysm, School, Silver, In Bloom, Come As You Are, Lithium, About a Girl, Tourette's, Polly, Lounge Act, Smells Like Teen Spirit, On a Plane, Negative Creep, Been a Sun, All Apologies, Blue, Dumb, Stay Away, Spank Through, The Money Will Roll Right In, D7, and Territorial Pissings. Now, There were a couple of
Territorial
songs.
Pistons is great.
That's actually one of my favorite Nirvana songs. You're talking about Pearl Jam so damn much. It's like,
Yeah,
oh,
it
that gets on the
happens though.
brain.
It happens. It's cool. It's grunge.
And what's cool about this particular performance is it was so prolific that the Reading Festival decided to forego one of their bands to broadcast this performance again on a big screen for everybody. That is how prolific this concert is when it comes to like concerts in general. And it is one of my favorite concerts that I can listen to.
Well, you know what? Speaking of concerts and all that, I want to go ahead and shift gears a little bit here.
Wait, hold on. Don't do it yet. Don't do it yet.
Do-
I want you to do it, but not yet. I had a question.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right. My bad.
I've-
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I've been waiting to get this in 15 minutes, but you guys have just been going off.
Oh, sorry, buddy.
So-
Well, go ahead, man. I'll mute myself and
So
shut up.
I myself am a fucking zoomer. I've got a binky in my mouth. I've got my propeller hat on. I'm a fucking child. I owned CDs when I was a fucking toddler, and all of my media has been digital since. So my fucking dumbass zoomer question I want to ask is how do vinyl even work?
Okay.
How does it play?
Okay, so you have these discs called vinyl records that have these grooves, and that's basically analog information that is pressed onto it. The basic kind of process is there's vinyl pellets, plastic pellets that are melted into what's called a puck, and that gets two labels get put on it. It gets super pressed, like super steam pressed together, and in general, that's how the record is made. When it comes to actually listening to it, there's something called a stylus on the turntable, and it has a needle, a diamond needle on some of them. Some of them are plastic, and then some of them are ellipsis, the way they're shaped. But essentially, they all kind of work the same. Is where when you put the needle into the grooves, it reads that information and plays that back so you can actually listen to it. So it's a physical way of looking at the actual music, and it's actually playing back. So there are multiple speeds that it gets played at, but it basically is, if you think of it like a pencil, and it goes into like this valley of grooves. The needle basically kind of rides the grooves, and that signal that was pressed into it gets read by the needle through the turntable and then out through your speakers. Essentially, that's how it works.
Okay, that's really interesting. I was curious just because I've always sort of had a fascination of how like old technology works. Just because like all new technology, the answer is 1000010. But like with the old technology, it's like there's actual like inner workings here that could be explained. It's like that's cool that's how it works.
That's why if you have a head crash on your computer, or if your solid state drive craps out, you still have your music. You still can physically walk over and put that there. This is the actual album. The little circles that you're seeing on there, the grooves, that's the actual music that was played and recorded and mixed and finalized and then put onto that actual physical disc.
We mentioned Riely mentioned Maddox a few minutes ago. One of his points of contentions against vinyl was you can simply recreate the experience, he says so-called experience of vinyl.
Yeah, I forgot Maddox had a fucking vendetta against vinyl.
Yeah, for some reason or another, the guy just did not like that. And so, what do you think about that? Is there like a process that can't be replicated, or do you think that through digital manipulation and editing and stuff, do you think that the vinyl experience can be replicated?
It depends. It can be replicated, but if done right. You have this lossless audio now. You have like these Dolby Atmos ways of listening to music. But here's the thing. Not every physical recording has been digitized. There's guys like Jack White that are finding these old soul, jazz, old R&B, proto rock and roll days, 78 RPM records, what are called shellac records. Those haven't been digitized. I know there are some bands like Tool that, they were completely against putting it digitally and all of that. So it really depends. In a sense, you can. It's just sometimes to some ears it sounds better, if that makes sense.
Right. That. Oh shit. Right. That was the one of the other points of contention was it's not really that much of a difference. Like he's one of well, like it's not him really. There's a lot of people that say, "Oh, that's just nonsense. You can only hear up until like X frequency, and then everything else is just garbage." It's the same type of people who say like you can't really tell 1080p from 720p, and that's completely absolutely false. And they say the human eye or the human ear can only perceive and like hear up to a certain thing, and that is true. But like the technology that we have right now, we can still easily perceive it, and it's not exactly that hard. Now, personally, for me, I think it's a vinyl belongs on a freaking record player. A CD belongs in a CD player, etc., etc. Because like even though it's fun to make backups and all that stuff, it'll never replace the feeling that you get when you were younger, or even if it was just last week or the last time you went to a record store. Nothing really nothing can ever replace the feeling of opening that CD or that record or that tape for the very first time. Unraveling that hard ass plastic that always sucks, especially if you're into CDs, because then they have that long sticky little bit of tape
Yes.
that it takes forever to get. Like you can do it right every single time, and it never ever comes all the way off the first time. It's always like an arduous task to go and freaking hunt down a knife that's sharp enough to cut it but not sharp enough to go through the plastic and maybe screw up the CD or something. It was always that task. But when you finally did it, it was just one of those little experiences that as time marches on we'll lose, but it's always something that you'll always remember.
Yeah, especially
I
when...
actually had a question.
Yeah.
So I feel like part of the resurgence of vinyl has been primarily and probably controversial, that people just want to have covers on their wall. And I've seen a couple of bands just sell album covers. You think that's going to hurt the record industry at all?
No.
Especially the resurgence of it?
No. The idea of having the vinyl in the 12-inch is one of the benefits is you get the bigger artwork. That is one of my favorite things. Is I know I don't post to Instagram much, but one of my favorite things to do is while I'm listening to the record, I actually have a bigger size of the actual album cover. Because sometimes with the CD you can't tell, and especially if it's a digital file, sometimes they make these covers like the size of postage stamps, and it's like all digital and like pixelated and everything. But I can look at the cover, and sometimes the vinyl record cover is different than the actual album itself. Case in point, Hail to the King by Avenged Sevenfold has a completely different cover than the CD version when it comes to the vinyl version. So those people that just like to buy the covers just for display, I don't think that is harmful at all. My buddy who I mainly talk to about collecting, and we send each other texts about, what's coming out and all that. For the longest time, he bought them just to collect them because it's the idea of collecting and having the physical media. So, it's your money. You could do whatever you want with the albums, as long as you're enjoying it the way you want to enjoy it.
That was something I completely forgotten about. It was the variants, the cover variants, because there would be different variants of the covers. Sometimes if you got the tape, it was like a real mini, like a scaled down version. Maybe you might get half of it. But if you buy a CD, maybe you'll get lucky and there'll be a little poster. But obviously, if you get the big, the big one, the vinyl record, you get the true, like true to scale, like the way that the artists intended it. vinyl cover, and I used to love the hell out of that because the artwork was another thing that was super attractive about vinyls and CDs and stuff like that. It was it's a lost art form now because I don't think anyone gives a damn about it, and honestly, I don't think since I think. And maybe this is controversial, but I think the last like really cool like cover artwork was with the album Load by Metallica, where it was the dudes like a little bit of blood and a little bit of semen that was pressed together in a couple little bits of glass and put under a microscope and zoomed in like hundreds of times. And I loved I loved the way that looked. And unfortunately, I think no one really cares anymore. Going back to Metallica, if you look at Saint Anger or Death Magnetic, you sort of realize how very minimalistic kind of is, and how kind of like really it almost feels low effort. And that's something I think that we're losing a little bit along the way as time marches on as far as music is concerned, because no one really talks about the art anymore because, like, we discussed earlier, no one seems to buy physical media that much, with the exception of like a large group of people who will still do it. But ultimately in mainstream, not enough people are caring about the artwork of on the cover of the albums.
And that reminds me, I just pulled out the one that was what we call in the collectors is like our holy grail, our white whale, all of that. I recently got one of them. It's an album by the band Shinedown. It's called Amaryllis. I love this album to death. It is one of my top 10 albums. But I never noticed the little intricacies that they put on the cover until I actually got the vinyl. So the amaryllis is the flower of the cactus. So I always thought, okay, it's just an intricate cactus, but everything on this album cover ties into a song within the album. So like there's one of my favorite songs by Shinedown is called Unity. There are all these different hands of different, skin colors holding hands as the outside of the cactus where the prickles are. And the actual prickles are the amaryllis flower. So it's little stuff like that, I agree, that you don't see anymore. Case in point, I love this artist. She's called Amy Shark, but her latest album, Cry Forever, is her sitting, on the floor looking sad. That's the cover. I can understand minimalism in that. It's like, where you think there's kind of low effort. You know what I'm saying? And then, of course, we turn around and have the Pretty Reckless, where Taylor Momsen is basically, the album's called Death by Rock and Roll, and she's basically dead on the front cover. So, there are bands out there still doing it, but I can definitely see where you're coming from when it comes to like the laziness.
Yeah. Thinking about what you just said about the artwork being associated with the songs, I was just looking it up so I can make sure I get their album name right. Alice in Chains' self-titled album, the purple album, the one with the three-legged dog on the cover. If the CD had it, I don't think the tape did, but that was another cool thing about getting the CDs. Like sometimes you'll get like a big pamphlet, whereas you'll just get the quick lyric sheet with the tape. But yada yada, with the CD covers, you got the little pamphlet, and it had artwork that sort of corresponded or had some relevancy toward the songs. Like a Heaven Beside You has a real cool little bit of artwork right there, and the other ones have it, and it's really exciting to look at. And I also think I might have told an accidental fib just a second ago with artwork sort of not being relevant, because you brought up Avenged Sevenfold, and that album that they dropped after the lead singer finally came back. It was the one with the big hit, Backcountry, I think it's called. Yeah,
yes,
that album has amazing artwork. So maybe I think I jumped the gun a little prematurely when I said maybe a lot of people don't care about that anymore, because I think there is still some love for artwork on the album cover. It's just you don't see it
about
anymore.
City of Evil.
Yeah, there
That's
we
the
go.
album you're talking about.
Good album.
Yeah, yeah, very good album. Yeah, it's a lost art form. And Avenged Sevenfold is actually one of those bands that does it right. You know, of course they had the Death Bat with their original album, but they're a band I wish would come out with an album already. Come on. It's been since 2016 since your last album. Where are you guys hiding? Everybody else is releasing albums. I look left and right, and there are albums from artists that I really care about that are coming out left and right, and they're really good.
Well, they're probably hiding in their giant mansions on giant piles of cash from just City of Evil.
Yeah, and what's funny is, do you watch comedy stuff? Do you watch like Jeff Dunham?
Yeah, I love Jeff Dunham.
Do you know Sinister Gates' dad is Guitar Guy?
Oh, no shit. I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
Brian Hayner, that is his dad.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so that guy knows how to play. So it's that there was a conversation I had with a friend years ago. It's like, well, they're all there in their mansions. They have all these music degrees. The science behind the music type of degrees. Music theory, that's what it was. They're just sitting here with all in their Ferraris with their music theory degrees, and we're just here waiting and sitting and listening.
Oh yeah, I think one of the dudes from Dragon Force, I think he went to it was either Harvard or Yale, one of the more prestigious universities, and
Mm-hmm.
he majored in music theory and stuff like that. I think a couple of the dudes from Tool also have a degree in music
Yes.
theory.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, it's
I turned
yeah, it's
I
fucking
turned
awesome.
30 this year, and I wanted to get. I still haven't done it yet. I wanted to get one of Maynard's wines, just because.
I've had some of the wine. It's good.
Oh, I will have to do that. The only thing is, it's like I'm not a big wine person, but because you have to do like 3 at a time, and I'm like, do I really want to make that commitment? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it becomes sort of a task, and then sometimes, depending on the strength of the wine, you can down a bottle easily, and then when you're sort of in the middle of your second one, you're like, dude, I'm either getting a big tolerance to alcohol or this wine is shit.
Yeah.
And then you get a wine gut, and that's disgusting because a beer gut's
Yep.
gross enough. But yeah. Does anyone have any other questions about vinyl or anything like that? Because I want to move on to a different subject I think every one of y'all will love.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, go for it.
All right. So tell me, let's go around the room and ask, what was the first record that you ever bought, or at least the record that you can remember that you bought that was like a really meaningful to you? Pirate, I guess we'll go ahead and start with you, and everyone else can sort of jump in after he's done.
That is interesting. Do you want to hear the first vinyl record I bought or the first CD I bought?
Well, you know what? Why not both?
First CD I bought was the Digimon the movie soundtrack. I was
Oh, no way. No freaking way. That's
13.
spit based.
Still one of my favorite series of all time. Did the Tamers they're remaking? They're like doing like a remaster of it. I'm so very excited for that. But it was just that, and I remember one of my favorite songs back then because I have what I call the before times of me being like a huge music fan, and then the times when I didn't care, which is like, oh, this is who just makes it. I didn't care who was in the band. I didn't care what the band name was. I just liked the song. So that was that. The first vinyl album I bought with my own money. I had inherited my own collection from my parents, and there's a band. My favorite band of like right now is Tonight Alive. They're from Australia, and I had gone and I've been kind of a fan of theirs since their debut. My best buddy, the one I talked about earlier, got me into them, and they were playing Warped Tour. So I was just deciding maybe I should look into these vinyl record doodads because I was a dumbass. I was an adult by then. I was a dumbass adult. And I'd said maybe there are actually more records than the ones we own that I've been hauling around for all these years. So I put the feelers out on Twitter, and she was the first one to respond. And I said, hey, what are some albums that you like to listen to on vinyl? And I was going to gauge and just go buy whatever she suggested. And I have the tweet on my wall. She said, I was just gifted Led Zeppelin 4. It's one of my favorite albums.
Oh, nice. That is a great freaking album. Like everything from the early Led Zeppelin, including Runes, which seems to be a divisive album. I don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's fucking amazing. All their shit is great. So great
I
to listen
love
to.
Enter the Outdoor. I love anything Zeppelin, honestly. But so I go down to the local shop that I'm going to go visit on Saturday, Vinyl Days Records. You can look them up on Facebook, Vinyl Days Records, Virginia Beach. Great place. Back then, they didn't have the expansive room that they have now. The room that's the metal room was actually a barber shop. I remember when this place was just the one room of records. They didn't even have where you could buy, the turntable setup and everything. That was their storage area. And I bought Led Zeppelin 4 from them. It was like an earlier press, not one of the sought after pressings, but like an original pressing of that. And that's kind of what got me started into my love of vinyl and my love of this store. Because we're about to hit the 10-year anniversary of this store. I think it's next year. And I think there's supposed to be a big celebration. And it's like, I've been there almost the entire steps of the way. And it was Led Zeppelin 4. And I got to see Tonight Alive after years of a gap of seeing them. And I told Jenna, who's the lead singer, the impact that she had on me with that. And of course, they meet like millions of people. I'm not expecting anybody to remember, meeting like some punk ass teenager who just turned 18. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But she's like, wow, you could tell like the impact that she had. So I had a personal meet and greet with her because I tried for that because I didn't know if I was going to have a chance to meet the band, which I met both. But I told her about that, and she wrote lyrics from Going to California on the back of the poster that she signed. So it's kind of like that extra connection to Led Zeppelin when it comes to that.
Cool.
Yep.
All right. Is that it? Those are your two, huh?
Yes, those are my two.
Awesome. Who would like to go next?
I can go next.
Alrighty, go, Robin. Go ahead.
So for vinyl, I really only buy vinyl as gifts for people because I think they make nice gifts. And I'm not really a collector of things because, I mean, realistically, I just don't have the space to keep things like nicely. Like I'll buy nice things and then just they kind of get cluttered. I did buy my partner a 21 Pilots album.
Which one, if you don't mind me asking?
That's what I'm struggling with. I don't remember which one I bought.
Was it Vessel? Was it Blurry Face? Okay, there's Vessel,
I think it
Blurry
was Blurry
Face.
Face.
Yeah, Blurry Face was their second one. I actually have a bootleg of their self-titled, which came out before they were on Fueled by Ramen. Because I got to see them with AWOL Nation just as Vessel dropped. And this was in 2014. I got to see them as the homecoming concert for my alma mater, Ultimate University. And they were the homecoming concert, sold out show. And that was like one of the last shows when I was a senior in college.
Wow. Yeah, I remember I was gonna, because I remember now, I was gonna buy him Vessel, but at the time, the vinyl for Vessel was incredibly difficult to find.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just like, okay, well, Blurry Face it is. We're doing Blurry Face.
Mm-hmm. I think they just came out with a new one.
Yeah, I haven't listened to their newer stuff yet. I've heard it's pretty good. The first CD I bought was, I think I bought Camp by Childish Gambino for myself.
Nice.
There's just a few CDs that I own because I really like the music, pretty much. And at least I know where the money's going. You know, when you stream media, you they get like really small dividends from that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's always the record company or the streaming service that's getting the majority of the money. So once again, you end up supporting like the freaking tentacled monster that freaking consumes all media. Like the band hardly gets any of them. I guess that's why what I love about like people being able to make bands being able to make their own website so they can sell their own shit and get 100% of the profits, because that doesn't happen anymore. But anyway,
you could also
There was a
use
time where Spotify was taking,
yeah.
like if they were taking down music from their streaming service because people weren't getting enough hits and it wasn't worth it for them to keep it up.
Wow.
Yeah, which was just a nightmare of a time.
I can recommend a website though. If it's an indie band, check Bandcamp.
Yeah.
Bandcamp does Bandcamp Fridays, where 100% of the money you put in goes directly to the band.
nice, nice.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I have a bunch of friends who use Bandcamp when they want to hawk their own stuff, man. It's a really great platform for them.
Like Caster.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Freaking Caster Vi Jones, guest on the Moecast. He's been on there a couple of times, and he even did the intro or the outro music. Oh, Caster. Maybe it might have been before your time, before you were on there. Maybe you just weren't on the.
I'm like, wait a minute, guest of the Moecast Caster. I don't remember that guy.
Well, I think he might be going by a different name on Discord. He kind of has a habit, kind of like Trixie does, of like all of a sudden just changing your name, changing his their name, and then you're like, "What? Oh, what was it? What is it now? Are you on my social media? Oh shit! Now you're lost." But yeah, yeah.
Well, Caster, if I've ever met you, I don't remember. I'm sorry.
Well, he's the dude who does the outro, who did the outro music for the show. He did the "Never Gonna Give You Up" cover, which I fucking love, and it's my favorite cover of the song.
Yeah,
yeah, that guy.
That.
He's going to be at the end of this one too, but he did that cover for me and for the show. So hell yeah. It's the only
Get him
time.
on the show again, and then I will know who he is.
Oh, I will. I should have hit him up for this podcast, but we already had one good guest, so we're split for time enough as it is with 4 people. And he's a talker like me and Pirate, so like you guys would have never been able to get a word in edgewise, especially since we're talking about vinyl and junk like that. All right, Robin, do you have anything else you want to add? Any other CDs or tapes or music that you bought?
I just because I was talking about Childish Gambino, I wanted to also throw in because the internet, their CD. Because it was really interesting that they had like the like holographic cover on it. It wasn't a traditional CD case. It was like it like folded out into 4 squares and had a bunch of pockets with different like artwork and links to things and fun stuff. But yeah, it had like that magic mirror like effect on the front of it.
I think they took the Digipack and did it on steroids.
The band The Gorillas did something really, really cool. This is a little thing that we sort of lost along the way, was sometimes if you put your CD into your computer, it would boot up a freaking a little video, like Ozfest, I think Just Say Ozzy, or like I think the one where it's just all him in a silhouette and it's just a bunch of eyes like painted in there. That album has some really cool like CD plus stuff that's on there that you can only access on your computer, and it'll give you like a bunch of videos and the best kind of the best quality that old school 96 97 style internet could possibly give you. It would give you that. Biohazard had some stuff like that. Tattoo the Earth, that CD of that one, once in a lifetime and done only once. Tattoo the Earth. They put out a live CD, and it was one of the coolest live CDs for a concert that I've ever seen, ever heard in my entire life. And I had the chance to go to Tattoo the Earth, and I said no because I wanted Ozfest 2000 to be my first concert, so I forsook, I forgot, I didn't go to that and freaking Warp Tour 2000, which looking back, I should have gone to that one because I could have seen all my favorite bands like they were still in their super prime right before the pills and the blows started really taking their toll. But yeah. Those are the old good old days. But Ozfest 2000, that was a hell of a show to go to. Which is another subject before we end the show today, as I want to talk about what the first concerts were.
Riely,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I was just about to call on Riely. I was just trying to make super sure that you didn't have anything else to say because I've already cut off Riely once today, so I didn't want to cut
Yeah,
Robin off.
Riley.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
first
So
CD and vinyl.
Oh,
okay.
I
Never owned a
guess
vinyl.
I guess it doesn't have to be vinyl. You can also say CD or tape, or if you only have one, that's cool too.
I really, based on those qualifications, I don't think I have an answer for either. I own exactly one vinyl, but I don't own a player. The only reason I own this vinyl is because they fucking had a bunch of vinyls hung up the wall at work and they redecorated, so they were giving them away. So I just took one that looked kind of cool.
Oh,
I don't even
nice.
know what music is actually on it.
Oh, well, what's the name of it?
I mean, it's all the way on the other side of the house, Mo. I'd have
Well,
to go
now we
get
gotta
it.
do it. It's good content. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
fuck it,
now
I'll be
now
right
you
back.
gotta get it because now we
fuck
gotta
it
know.
now.
No, I have to fucking stand up. Give me a minute. I'll be back.
Oh man.
The
I hope it's
curiosity
something
would have
really
killed me.
rare.
Oh man, let's see. Well, in order to pass the time where Riley's looking for his record, I'm going to go ahead and just go around the room and say what our first concert was. Mine's Ozfest 2000. It was right when I was being able to. It was near the end of the peak of Ozzy, because this, like I said, is when the pills and blow and other stuff started kicking in. Ozfest 2000 was a fucking awesome set. I saw Pantera, Godsmack, Static X, Disturbed, all first album. I saw this shitty band Pump Jack and Primer 55. But I was just waiting for Pitch Shifter to come on because that was one of my favorite like heavy metal / electronica bands, and that was back when that was a rarity and when it was even rarer to be actually good. So if you guys ever get a chance, go look up Pitch Shifter, man. It's some primo fucking electronica metal music. So that's my concert. Pirate, what's your first concert?
Yep.
Hello, I'm back. I have it.
Yes.
I got it's fucking Friday Night Blues by John Conley. It's got a rainbow on it. It's pretty cool.
Friday Night Blues.
Never heard of that one.
Yeah, I imagine it's not some sort of popular artist. It was just hanging up on the wall at work, but it had like a little rainbow sky on it, and it was a vinyl, and it looked cool. So now it's mine, and I have it now.
Let me take a look
Nice.
at it. Ooh, that does look interesting. I'm looking it up right now. Ooh, that does look kind of cool. Oh, yeah, that is cool. Ah, nice.
Yeah, I like it. It looks good. And I did just want to mention before we moved on, but we kind of already did, but I'm going to mention
No, but
it
go
anyway,
ahead.
because
Go
fuck
ahead.
you. So,
Hey, fuck you, buddy.
so I don't remember like any CDs that I bought as a kid, but I do have a distinct memory of the first piece of digital music I ever bought. So I
Mhm.
just wanted to mention that real quick. Is I got a fucking Kindle Fire HD when I was like 13 or some shit.
Oh
And I
wow,
remember,
Kindle Fire. God, that's a blast from the past.
dude, that tablet had fucking staying power. I spilled fruit punch on the fucking cracked screen, and the thing was totally fucking fine. This is a powerful fucking tablet. But
You know what? I had a Zune, and it wasn't that bad. I was on my fuck Apple shit, and I was
Mhm.
like, you know what? I want an MP3 player because no one had smartphones. It was the beginning of
Right.
smartphones, right? And
Yep.
I had a Zune player, and I'll be damned, that was a really cool little device. It wasn't it lasted a bunch of drops and stuff until I was coming home, bringing a pizza home, right? And I
Mhm.
had my headphones in. I wasn't paying attention, and I hit a fucking bad crack in the sidewalk because the city of Houston does not believe in upkeep with its roads or its sidewalks and shit. And
Yep.
I dropped the pizza, managed to I almost dropped the pizza, and I managed to save it for the most part. A few pepperonis were on the top, but fuck it, whatever. And I fell on my Zune side, and I broke it out, and it was just shattered all to shit, man. So, R.I.P. my Zune player.
I actually have a
Damn.
Zune as well. But what happened with mine is I was at the store and it just flopped over and went right on the floor and it cracked the inner screen.
Oh, fun.
But the charger cord is now stuck inside it, but I could actually boot it up if I wanted to and still use it.
Oh, well, at least there's that, so silver lining, right?
Right. If I could dig it out wherever the hell it is in this house. Yeah.
So just to go back to the story I was telling real quick.
Yep.
So I remember clearly being a fucking teenager, and I was a teenager, so I didn't have any income, so I had to ask my mom to buy it for me, obviously. Like a young teenager. I know I'm still a teenager now, but I have a job and income. It was Seaside Hill from fucking Sonic Heroes, the fucking Sonic Heroes original soundtrack that I fucking saw in the Amazon Music store and like begged my mom to buy it for me so I could fucking listen to it on repeat. And she did, even though she didn't really understand the concept of digital music because she's old. She ended up buying it for me, and I fucking owned the Seaside Hill theme from Sonic Heroes on my Kindle Fire HD, and that's the first piece of music I ever remember like actively pursuing a purchase of.
That's a good song though.
It is. It really is. I still enjoy Sonic music greatly to this day.
Same.
I'm not going to bag on you for having video game music because one of my favorite one of my favorite soundtracks, I guess it's an OTSD, or am I? If I'm using the right term,
Halo?
OST?
Yeah. No. Oh, you know
Official
what?
soundtrack, original soundtrack.
Something like that. It was called that, but it was the Halo Reach, fucking music soundtrack, and it is like Halo can be like a great game series and also a terrible game series at the same time, but 100% of the time the music is so spot on, and I've always enjoyed listening to Reach's soundtrack from that game.
Nice. I also remember, as an aside, my very first digital ever purchase that wasn't from, say, like the Starbucks free, was a song called Camilo the Magician by a band called Set the Whale.
Never heard of them.
Yeah, me neither.
The first and only digital CD I've ever bought was the I think it was the Death album #2. It was either by Metalocalypse, by the band Death Clock, that the made up fictional metal band that's been better than most metal bands in the current year, right? I got that, and I got the one where it's the Death Opera.
Yes.
Fuck, I forgot what the hell it's called specifically, but it's fantastic. It's a very, very well done, and it was definitely worth the $15 that I gave to the machine that is Google. So yeah. But all right, so going back, I guess while we were waiting for Riely, we were talking about what our favorites, or what our first concerts that we ever been to. I guess we could also do favorites, to pat it out a little bit. But
Pick me, because my answer will be quick.
Oh, okay, well, go ahead then, Riely.
Never been to one ever.
Oh, shut up, Riely, you fucking time waster.
It's true. I've never been to a concert. It's one of those things in my life that I've just never gotten the chance to do. I remember very clearly I was robbed of my first concert because of a child who had fucking ear problems. Fuck that kid for his health problems. Fuck him.
Okay, well that sounds. Well, hold on. That sounds like something you need to expand upon. Why was a child with hearing problems the reason why you didn't get to go to a show?
I will expand on this for you. So this was when I was about I'd say 12, 13. And I was staying with my father and his new girlfriend at the time, a very short-lived relationship, and the only other girlfriend he's had in my life besides my mother. I was staying with him and his very short-lived girlfriend. And me, the fucking 12-year-old, and the girl's 5-year-old son were both very into Big Time Rush, the band and also Nickelodeon TV show.
Mm-hmm.
And the kid's mother found some really good price tickets that were really close up to the band for a Big Time Rush concert in that area. But we couldn't fucking do it because her son had like ear problems and he would have like bled from the ears if he was that close to the band.
Dude, that sounds like that band's fucking brutal. I think I need to go see that fucking band, man.
Yeah.
No,
Dude.
it's just being in close vicinity to any loud music, though.
I mean, not even Ozfest or Killswitch Engage over Warped Tour in 07 fucking made my ears bleed, but I imagine it came really fucking close. But man, that band sounds like they would blow everything I've ever seen away.
Yes, Big Time
Every
Rush
doctor
behind
tells
such
you if you
songs is
regularly
like,
go to concerts, you need to wear earplugs.
Oh, I do. I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm learning that the hard way because in my youth I was never told that. So I was like, fuck yeah, man, rock and roll, dude. And, so now I have a ringing in my ears, but,
I mean, the youth of our times don't understand the concept that you're not supposed to have your headphones at full fucking volume touching your fucking eardrums as you listen to your fucking metal music.
Yeah.
We haven't quite gotten that concept down, so I know I'm going to be deaf at age 40.
Oh, yeah. I mean, luckily, my tinnitus really isn't that bad, but sometimes it is, but I've learned to live with it. And right now, it's kind of become like the white noise in the background now. But yeah, it's when I went to go see Primus back in 2017, I was plugging my ears half the time. I was like, dude, this is too fucking loud, and I felt like the old man at the fucking concert, like, turn it down, you young kids. And so I think that Primus concert, as epic and great as it was, definitely one of those concerts, one of the bands I got to check off of my list of like bands I want to go fucking see, was definitely Primus. Of course, one of them is Pearl Jam and Tool, but if I never get to see either one of those bands in concerts, that's good. I ended on a great high note. I started off fucking strong and ended, epically. That's good enough for me. Primus is definitely one of the best concerts I've ever been to.
I just want to go to an concert, just one. And I know they're very uncommon at the particular moment with the state of the world that we're in.
Yes,
they're coming back though.
Yeah, they're all on their way.
They're coming back through. I don't even, because I have such weird music tastes, and to the fact that I don't even have music taste. Like I have a fucking music playlist that has 91 songs, and it's all over the fucking place. It's got like, there's some fucking anime openings in there. There's fucking generic 2000s pop in there. Got some rock in there somewhere. Just, it's everywhere. It's fucking everywhere. And by the way, just wanted to mention, I'm still in a Big Time Rush. By the way, they take up a good portion of that playlist.
Hey, no shame on that.
Yeah, nothing
wrong.
What you
love is what you love.
I mean, dude, my first oh god, I never answered the tape, CDs, and vinyl question. How have I? Well, I get my first tape. I guess since this is relevant, my first tape was fucking MC Hammer, because I was a product of the '80s, and of course, like I had all the essential '80s albums tapes, but the one I do remember the most though. It was the first tape that really meant actually something to me. The first one I bought with my money that I earned, that wasn't bought from my parents, was "And Justice for All" by Metallica. And the first CD I ever owned, it was a gift from a friend of mine, and it was a "Countdown to Extinction" by Megadeth. And that remains one of my all-time favorite albums of all time. Because there's something that Megadeth was able to do that Metallica never got to pin down. Since Metallica and Megadeth are forever entwined, no matter how much Dave Mustaine wants to bitch and moan and cry about it, they are. And same thing kind of with Lars Ulrich, but that's a story for another day. Yep. But the first vinyl that I ever bought, it was such an impulse buy because me and my friends, right, we got super, super baked, and we were like, hey, man, it's the early 90s. Or no, it's the year 2000. Records are still relevant in this timeline. Let's go to a record store. And so for fucking well, I'm sorry, that's sort of insulting to you. Okay, for a while.
No, it's fine.
For a while, records were like pretty much considered dead up until this recent resurgence from like since 2014, 15, something like that. Because I'm still stuck in my ways. But I found it was a total impulse buy. But it was the very first. It was the self-titled album by Slipknot, and I've listened to Slipknot like 100 different times on CD, right? And I got
I'm
to
jealous.
listen. I got to listen to it on vinyl, and it hit different. And I can never really quite explain why it hit different, but but it was really really cool to hear metal coming from an album because my whole life it was pretty much everything on tape or the radio. But anyway, Robin, what's that? Pirate? Do we ever get to you about the concert question?
I have something related. I'd actually like to go last.
Oh,
I'd
okay.
Like, Robin to go next because I actually have something Corey Taylor related to talk about when I go to concerts.
Oh, nice. All right, Robin, go ahead if you're ready.
Yeah, I've been to one concert, a single concert when I think I was 14. I saw Paramore
Oh, I've heard of
live.
them.
You speak in my language.
Yeah, yeah, I saw them live in 2013 at Mohegan Sun here in Connecticut, and it was pretty good.
I worked with a chick that was super super into Paramore and Silverstein, and I'll never understand why. But then again, I think it's chick metal. It's metals for the ladies, I guess. And I don't mean that in a condescending, snarky way.
Yeah,
like
wow.
I usually present every comment that I make ever online. That's actually not snarky, because like primarily the fan base is mostly like female. But yeah, she was
Yeah, it's just
she
like
was
punky
really
music.
yeah she was super super into both of those bands.
I almost went to another concert because I think it was the next year, so when I was like 15. I went to Anime Boston,
Oh,
and
nice.
I ended up not getting tickets for it, but Jam Project played, and I really wish I got tickets to go see Jam Project because that would have been awesome.
Ooh, that would have been.
I guess one of my favorite concerts besides Ozfest 2000 I went to was I think it's got to be the second runner up was uh Warp Tour in '07 or
Mm.
'06 or '07. I mean basically like a Tiger Army, Pearl Jam, Pennywise, Bad Religion, Kill Switch Engage, all these Crumb Bums, all these freaking bands were there, and I was skipping work so I can go to this concert because I thought to myself, well, all right, so we'll just go to Bad Religion, right? Since this is about 2 o'clock, and I don't have to go back to work till about 8, right? I'm outside in the smoking section. I was like, okay, let's go ahead, and I'll just go to work later on. We'll just dip later on, right? Like I can handle it. And it's like if you like just cut to like 45 minutes later, I'm fucking hitting the door. Oh fuck, man, I'm so goddamn beat. Jesus Christ, that was like a brutal. That was like a brutal fucking pit. I ain't never been in shit like that before. And I was like, dude, I gotta call in. Like sick or something. Maybe my fucking car, maybe my car broke down. And I shit you not, 3 other dudes from across the way in the smoking section came over to fucking brainstorm a plan, a valid excuse for me not showing up to work tonight. And we all fucking, I busted out my phone, gave my boss the excuses like, oh man, that really sucks. I hope you're all right. Yeah, I said, yeah, man, I'll be there tomorrow. There's just something wrong with the brakes and I'm out of town, yada yada. And as soon as I hung up, dude, was fucking high fiving, fucking smoking. Some emo band was on, so I wasn't really into emo music at that time, so that was a good break. And I went in and was like, hey, the next band is Pennywise. Oh man, well, Bad Religion sort of tempered me in steel. I'm pretty sure I can fucking hold these guys. And that was a harder pit than fucking Bad Religion ever fucking was. And Bad Religion was fucking brutal. And I got my ass beat. And my buddy was crowd surfing, and there was a little hole in the way that like where he was being like led towards, and I was the only guy that was in the middle of that little hole, and so they fucking threw him toward me. Bam! He freaking hits the back of my neck. It was the first time I ever almost got knocked out in my life.
Ooh.
And all I hear is like it was the typical in movies and TV. All the music was just really low, and all I hear in the background is "Sorry, Mo," and it's my friend. And I fucking got up and I'm like, "Fuck yeah!" And the dude next to me is like, "Are you all right, bro?" I was like, "Yeah, man, I think I'm fine. Hey, can I hit that?" And I fucking just kept getting stoned. Oh, and Pepper was also there. That was a fucking awesome little concert. Like, that was right before they released that more radio friendly album of theirs. I think it was the first album, and they fucking rocked, man. They even played like a couple of Red Hot Chili Pepper licks at the end of their set.
That's awesome. I'm ready to talk concerts if y'all want to listen.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
Hold on,
Of course.
wait a second.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I won't interrupt. I guess.
Don't apologize.
No.
You want to talk? Go ahead.
Go ahead, Riley.
It's off topic, but Mo, you talked about calling out of work, and it reminded me of this story that I thought you in particular might really enjoy.
Hell yeah, lay it on us.
Excuse me. So there's this guy who used to supervise at my job, and he was really fucking cool. He was a really cool guy, even though he was on the older side, probably like in his late 40s, early 50s. And a friend of mine had an interaction with him that he retold to me that is really funny. So he was like walking to work, and like this group of like shady individuals on the street were like passing around a blunt, and they offered it to him, and he, not thinking anything of it, took a hit off the fucking blunt. And on his way to work, he realized that blunt was not, there was more than weed in that blunt.
Oh, dude, that sucks.
No.
See, this is why you don't take candy from strangers, kids.
Exactly.
So he comes into work and he walks up to that supervisor and he tells the truth. He tells him what happened, and the way that he like did an impression of him, the fucking supervisor responded like, he let him go home, and he gave him the advice, it's okay to smoke with your homies, but I was like, that's based as fuck. Then he let him go home, and he was just like, yeah, it's okay to smoke with your homies, but don't be taking fucking blunts off the street.
Yeah, having, I guess, a little caster story. We were just talking about Buddy, because we used to live together in Houston, and Hurricane, I think it was Ike, was coming in. It was about to bitch slap the shit out of Houston, right? So we're all hunkering down. He disappears under the guise of, hey, I'm just going to go to the store real quick. I'll be right back. We live right next to South Gessner and Bel Air, where one of the main High Times novelty and like basically head shops, weed shops, were. And he ran into two dudes who were just giving away fucking ecstasy pills, right? And so he disappears on my ass while I'm trying to work and hunker down and get ready for this fucking hurricane that was coming. And he goes, yeah, man, I'll go ahead and take one of those. And they give him fucking two. He pops two of them in there. And I'm like, I'm moving everything into the bedroom because I figured maybe that would be the better place for it. Because I was thinking doorway and all that stuff. Maybe if it got rained on, it would come through there. Spoiler alert, it did. That's another story for another day, though. And he walks in the door, and I'm like, hey, man, give me a hand real quick. And it was the last fucking thing that I needed to do. And he was like, good, man, that was a lot of hard work. And I tell him, what the fuck do you mean hard work? You just got here. He's like, yeah. And so I know you're dealing with this right now. So I have some bad news. You're going to take care of me. I look him straight dead in the fucking eye. I said, why? Because a couple of dudes gave me some ecstasy, and I'm about to trip balls, man. I'm feeling the rolling coming on. And I'm like, God damn it. All right, get in the closet and fucking roll, man. And I'm sitting here like he's just like all over the place, like being goofy as shit. And I'm trying to listen to the fucking weather report to see like how bad we're going to get it. So I had to take care of a very, very high roommate during Hurricane Ike. It was sort of more funnier than I lit it on, but yeah, it spooked the shit out of me. like people tend to disappear on me and then come back like high on some sort of like any kind of like a plethora of drugs, you know, that happens to be a punch. Yeah, I've done it a bunch, I'll admit too.
As somebody who lives in Hurricane Alley, not like Hurricane Alley, but understands the hurricanes and stuff, just the image in my head of that interaction.
Like, sorry, Mo, I'm rolling balls, man. You're just going to take care of this shit on your own. Like, go son of a bitch. So, like, after I got bored and thinking, well, it won't be too bad, I started playing the first God of War, which is remains one of my all-time favorite games, especially on the PlayStation 2. But anyway, enough of my yammering. Pirate, you have concert stories for us.
Yes. Okay. So one of my earliest memories, I classed the first concert into 3. I remember seeing the Beach Boys with John Sebastian at the then convention center. It's been knocked down since then. We have a new one. When a hurricane was coming through and there was a tornado warning in the area, and it was at the actual like convention center. I also remember seeing the Jimmy Brothers, but the main one I remember, which was at like the amphitheater, was Boston. That was a good show. Of what I can remember, because I was a little kid. Some highlights.
Nice. That seems to be something I would have loved to have seen.
Yeah, some highlights we've already talked about at Pearl Jam. I've been to Paramore, seen them 3 times, met them twice. They are wonderful. Haley is just so wonderful of a human. So, this kind of goes into the story. If I have just a brief moment to tangent.
Oh yeah, we're all about that. Go right ahead.
So, my dad passed away when I was 17. And you know, I became kind of, you know, the breadwinner of the house and the family and everything. And there was a soundtrack that had come out from a series called Twilight. The books and everything were coming out, and the film was coming out. So the last day I spent with my dad, he bought me the book Twilight, because I wanted to read the book before I saw the movie, because I was like, what is this? And one of my best friends at the time, she was reading the second book, and then read the first book, and we were all, you know, kind of like into it. So the soundtrack comes out, and I hear this song Decode, and this was after my dad had passed away, and that was the song that got me to love music. That was the song that made me care about who was in the band, who mixed the music, you know, who the engineers were, all that information, all that stuff. So I was part of the Paramore fan club, and one of the draws of that is you get your tickets early, but you also get put into a pool for a meet and greet. And a lot of people are like complaining about it. Well, my second meet and greet, which was for Monumentor, which was with Fall Out Boy, that was a good show.
Weirdly enough, I think they were playing Warp Tour 07. I met like the Fall Out Boy and all of the Fall Out Boy sort of adjacent popular music from 2005 to 2007. I think I met most of those bands backstage over Warp Tour that year.
Warp Tour, I miss the idea that you can meet those bands and get to see them kind of like in their heyday. Like you could get into a lot of bands, like you could literally turn around and there's like 5 or 6 different bands playing, and you could just be like, oh, let me go see what they're playing. Oh, let me go see what they're playing. And they all have their merchandise booths. It was great. So I got to meet her. I got to meet Corey Taylor because I saw Stone Sour with Alice in Chains. That was a fucking amazing show.
Nice.
This is, of course, William Duvall era. I've seen Alice in Chains with Will Duvall 3 times. I saw them at the Norva, which is a famous venue. Prince did a 3-night stand there, and it's like one of the legendary shows. And before he passed away, they were actually trying to get him to come back, and they were close to getting him to come back. But I've seen The Offspring there. I've seen In This Moment. Who else have I seen? I'm actually staring at it right now. My Tool poster. I got to see them.
Oh, I'm jealous. I'm jealous.
This was Fear Inoculum wasn't even a thing yet. It was just they were saying, yeah, actually we're going to come out with a new album. And that's great. One of my favorites to see is Diamante. She's a really good hard rock artist. She reminds me a lot of Joan Jett. Some of that old school rock and roll mentality with some of the new school stuff.
Nice, nice.
I'm seeing Pop Evil. That's my ticket, the show that I'm actually seeing. I've actually been to one concert a year since I've been 15, and the only year that I skipped was last year because there was nothing. I've been to literally one concert a year since then, and because of Chaos World,
Yeah.
it is what it is. Who else have I seen? I've seen Night Ranger. I got to see Leon Russell.
Night Ranger, huh? My fucking dad would love to fucking hear about that fucking story, that concert.
I actually have the set list from that night.
Oh, sweet, sweet.
I've seen 38 Special way too many times. I love seeing them though. One year I saw Foreigner Sticks in Kansas, and then one year and the same year was 38 Special, Bret Michaels, and Leonard Skinner.
Oh, holy shit.
Okay, I'm gonna paint a picture in your head. Okay, so it's been kind of off and on raining all night. That's kind of what ruined. I was supposed to see Motley Crue and Kiss, but I've seen Kiss before. I was so rained out at that Motley Crue show. I was like waterlogged and soaked that I cut out early. But imagine, it's been kind of off and on raining all night, but as soon as the opening chords of Freebird open, the skies freaking open up. Like, I'm talking, you can't see the person in front of you, kind of downpour. There's lightning and shit in the background. Nobody's leaving because this is your one and only shot to hear fucking Freebird. And
nice.
I was under the cover. It was the amphitheater. So I was under the cover. We had seats. They were letting people in the aisles. Nobody was leaving, but they were letting people actually in the aisles because it was so soaking wet out there. And as it's just lightning, as everything's going on, the solo hits. It's one memory that I will always have in my head because we were walking back and there was actually heat lightning and lightning still going on as we were leaving. They didn't cut that show for nothing. It was great. I have so many concert stories, it's not even funny.
Oh, man, I have like a million of them as well. Like seeing Flog and Molly fucking play in the goddamn rain and the mud and shit. One year that was really badass. I guess I'll do a super quick one, and I want to preface this by saying this is an Ozfest 2000 thing, and the thing I did that I didn't do at any other concert was I got some acid, and so me and my best friends were because I bought them all fucking some acid, right? And we were all tripping balls, and the acid was starting to hit right as I was going to the main stage at Ozfest 2000. And I don't know if it was the drugs or the positivity or anything, but POD remains probably one of my like real underrated fucking sleeper hits of like the early 2000s. A lot of people, including me for a time, dismissed them because they're like Christian rock and I'm an edgy high school atheist. There is no God, yeah, and all this crap. And I went ahead and went over there, and right as they're playing freaking Southtown, I think they were like 2 songs into their set, the air around the sound system started vibrating, and I managed to do my tippy toes a little bit, and I got to see over the fucking crowd, and I've never seen a more beautiful display of positivity and unity. I mean, there are so many flags being flown there, Puerto Rican, Mexican, American, fucking most of them. It was like the whole of the world came together for just a moment to enjoy this one band and this one song. And this was the main stage. So this is where like the tens of thousands of people were. And that moment, is etched forever in my memory because I've never been able to experience that in all the concerts I've ever been to. It's weird. I suppose that maybe for a lot of people, or maybe it's just me, once you experience that the one time, it's kind of like you're chasing the dragon. You want to feel that rush again. And it would take like a really, really special sort of place to recreate that feeling. But so far, I've never been able to relive it. But not to say that any of the other concerts I've ever been to were shit. They have all been phenomenal one way or another.
Yep. I'll share one other concert story. So Pop Evil is the band I've seen the most at 7. And I got to meet them this last time because they played. We have a festival here called Lunatic Luau. That's how I've seen most of my bands. And Like one of the first ones I went to was like Hailstorm and Volbeat. It was like crazy. They had Slash with Miles Kennedy one year. Um, a lot of Five Finger Death Punch. I don't listen to them that much anymore.
My
But
sister's really into them.
what I did see, they do put on a good show. I will say that. I'm not into them anymore, but they do put on a good show. I will say that.
Yeah.
I've seen Shinedown. The last couple of times I've seen them, though, their sound was like I got my neighbor had tickets to Shinedown and Godsmack. We get halfway through because I wanted to see the opening band, Red Sun Rising. They're no longer together, but one of my favorite underrated kind of rock bands. They didn't get many radio hits, but now they're no longer together. Which is kind of sad, but you know that it is what it is when they're individuals together and they just don't gel anymore. But Shinedown sounded like complete garbage the last time I saw them. Godsmack, you would have it sounded like you were listening to an album mix. That's how good they were live.
Oh yeah,
Like,
Godsmack
oh,
Ozfest was fucking amazing. The first album, and Houston, Texas. During that, it was really cool because I remember everything about that day because it was August 20th, 2000. And August 20th is Dimebag Darrell's fucking birthday, so I got to see
yeah.
Pantera during Dimebag Darrell's birthday and his last Ozfest performance as well. Uh,
Oh, that must
but
have been
uh,
special.
but yeah, I should. You figured that I would talk about Pantera, as I was such a huge fucking fan of them when I was much younger. But
Hmm.
you know, you listen to freaking Far Beyond Driven like a million times. You get it now, right?
Yeah.
Godsmack first album, it was fucking amazing, and they played Awake from their second album. I forgot the name of
Hmm.
it, but that's a fucking great second album. Uh, they played Awake for the very first time in front of a live audience at Ozfest that year. That was really cool.
The reason I bring up Pop Evil is I drove 3 hours to see them. Because I had seen uh this is when they had their second album out, War of Angels was out, and they were just dropping Onyx. So they were playing at this festival. There's a side stage and a main stage. And there's a really fun. I missed seeing Ghost one year because I was a fucking idiot. They were playing the side stage, but I'm more well versed now. I'm making it a point to go out. I will even travel to go see Ghost. But they played the side stage, and I was so impressed. And I got to talk to Nick Fueling, who is the guitarist, one of my favorite kind of underrated rock guitarists. And we drove 3 hours down to Greensboro, North Carolina, to go see them perform at a chili wing fling, which is like a chili cook-off for the local rock radio station down there. And like Tantric was playing there, and
Oh
it was
shit,
about a crowd.
Tantric. I
Yeah,
haven't heard.
Tantric was there.
Yeah, I haven't heard of that band in a real long time.
I have a POD related thing to tell you in just a moment, but
Nice,
we
nice.
drove down there, and it's in the parking lot of a strip club in like a pop up, you know, stage, and in the parking lot of the strip club is an antique mall. That's where you went to go use the bathroom if you had to go. But I remember it was a cold night, and it was a muggy cold night because, you know, like when it's wet and cold, like when the sweat you get all sweaty, it actually like steams.
Oh
It was
yeah,
like a cold, wet night, but that was one of my favorite shows. Was seeing Pop Evil, like this multi, you know, platinum bands that's there now in like a small setting of like 100 people. It was crazy to me. Um, the reason I bring up the Luau is POD's music video for Satellite was filmed at the Lunatic Luau here in Virginia Beach.
Oh, nice,
So
nice.
they played it a couple of times, the song a couple of times, and all the live footage from that um, music video, which is blocked in the United States for whatever stupid reason. I can't even watch it. I'd have to hop on a VPN to watch it. Like,
That's weird.
like I live in the same damn city. I should be able. I could drive to the venue it was filmed at. I should be able to watch it. But
Yeah, like the guys from Hack the Movies, Tony from Hack the Movies,
mhm.
recently, well, like I think like a few months ago, they did a video about this one movie, right? and it's banned everywhere on YouTube. It's banned everywhere but Germany. So if you live in Germany or have a VPN, you get to watch this one video on YouTube that for some reason or another got banned everywhere else but this one country.
Interesting. One of my favorite stories from the luau is I saw the first time I got to see the Pretty Reckless, who right now sit at the top of album of the year. Listen to Death by Rock and Roll. Do yourself a favor. But it was raining out and the lights stopped working and their in-ear monitors stopped working. So Ben is like, we need to apologize if we suck because other bands that are better than us don't use monitors and we use monitors, so we're gonna apologize. And then Taylor Momsen, you just hear, I'm singing my fucking memory right now. Then they got to be on the main stage a couple of years later. This was before Death by Rock and Roll had come out, and I'm hoping they come around here. We have another luau, and I'm like, you need to get Mammoth Wolfgang Van Halen, which that album is coming out tomorrow. Actually, it's coming out in a half hour, my time.
Oh, nice.
It's coming out. I actually have the vinyl. It's in shipment, but I've not been that impressed with like a rock person in a while. But yeah, that was a great show. And one little fun fact about Mammoth Wolfgang Van Halen, if you know your Van Halen facts, you know that they were called Mammoth before they were actually called Van Halen. So Wolfgang calls up his dad back when he was still with us, and he says, "Can I use the Mammoth name for my band?" And Eddie said, "Yes, you can use that. Absolutely, you can use that for your band name."
Oh, that's cool. That's really cool.
I don't know what it is. I fell in love with the singles and everything. And what's fun is he pulls a Dave Grohl. Every single instrument you hear on that album is him, and he is freaking talented. It's amazing.
Yeah, freaking Nine Inch Nails, like Trent Reznor, really showed me like what a true musician can really accomplish if you just give them time, and you'll come out with like a really phenomenal record. Just doing that. Anyway,
if you like,
go ahead.
Yeah, I'll say one last thing. If you like light shows and like screen shows, do yourself a favor and see 9 Inch Nails.
Oh, nice. I would love to see that before like they stop touring. Anyway, fellas, Riely, Robin, do you guys have anything you want to add? Any final thoughts or questions or whatever?
I think I got my questions in, Riely.
Yeah, I think I'm all good. I think it's time to put this one in the books, folks.
Yes,
absolutely.
I wholeheartedly agree. Pirate, it was a fucking pleasure having you on the show. Riely, why don't you tell everyone where they can find you?
Fuck that, I'm too tired. Check the description, it's all there.
Alright, you know what, screw it. Links are all in the description, so Riely, if you want to opt out, or anyone else you want to opt out, telling everyone where they can find you, that's fine. Robin, where can they find you?
I mean, I have 2 links, right down in the description.
Oh, okay, all right, okay. So we're doing that, huh?
But really, you can find me on Twitter at Inside Alloy, and you can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Inside Alloy.
Nice. But
they're also in the description. You can just click down.
Yes,
there.
Everything will be in the description to reiterate that. And Pirate, where can they find you at, bro?
I don't post on Twitter much at Pirate Novelist. I'm more active when I'm not busy on my Instagram at Pirate Novelist. But you can find our podcast at Collector's Confessional. We post mostly on the Instagram. So if you want to find us there, it's there as well. Nice.
And you can find me at twitter.com/MoesideGaming42. Twitch.tv/MoDiggity, Instagram MoDiggity42, YouTube.com/C/MoDiggity42, Moeside Gaming on YouTube. That's the gaming channel. Come check us out. TikTok.com/Moeside Gaming, and finally, Anchor.fm the-mo-cast. And I believe I have to add another one because we are now officially moving the Moecast. Big announcement, everyone. Should have led with that earlier in the episode, but I'm just now remembering. Fuck it, whatever. we're posting the podcast exclusively to the Moecast on YouTube, and that'll be the exclusive YouTube channel where you'll be able to find eventually all of the episodes, past, present, and future of the
Good
Moecast.
luck with that shit, Mo.
Oh,
I
fuck
wish
you.
the best of luck.
Oh yeah, I'll get to it. I promise. I paid $22 for a really good beefy Dropbox freaking thing, so I'll be able to upload whole episodes of the show now, and we'll be able to download them and put them up on the thing. Or, I guess since I have the majority of the stuff, I guess I could just upload them directly. I guess, fuck, do I even need a stupid ass Dropbox now?
I can't wait until you find out that episode 50 was actually episode 52 all along, that there was like a couple of repeats.
Yeah, well, we'll burn that bridge when we get to it. Anyway, this was a great episode. Appreciate everyone coming out. Thank you for all listening and all that stuff. And till next time, ta-ta.
Bye.
Bye.
We're no strangers to love. You know the rules, and so do I. Full commitment's what I'm thinking of. Wouldn't get this from any other guy. And I just wanna tell you how I'm feeling. Gotta make you understand. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. Never gonna run around and desert you. Never gonna make you cry. Never gonna say goodbye. Never gonna tell a lie and hurt you. Known each other for so long. Your heart's been aching much and too loud to say. It's time we both know what's going on. We know the game and we're gonna play it. And if you ask me how I'm feeling, don't tell me I'm too blind to see. Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around and desert you. Gonna make you cry, never gonna say goodbye, never gonna tell a lie and hurt you. Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around and desert you. Never gonna make you cry, never gonna say goodbye, never gonna tell a lie and hurt you.